What's up, everybody? Frankie5152 here. And before we get the Week 6 fantasy football update here, I want to give a shout out to a couple of my friends who do college football with Moose, Goose, and Pie. Of course, my friends Moose, Goose, and Pie. They do a great podcast every week for college football. So if you're a college football fan, check them out. They're doing great stuff. Their next week's episode is going to be great. And you still have time if you check them out today to get in your own pick'ems. They do 6 pick'ems every week and a chance to win some money. I've won once myself, so I didn't have a good week last week. I'm looking to rebound this week. So go ahead, check them out. Moose, Goose, and Pie. They're on SoundCloud. I think they're on iTunes. Look up the podcast there. They're doing good stuff. You can also find them at Moose, Goose, Pie, FB on Twitter. So check them out there, of course, as well. Get a hold of them, listen to their podcast. They are 8 episodes in now. They're doing good things. But now we get into the fantasy football. A little recap of what happened last week. I got stopped. Plain and simple. I scored 118 points, so there's 2 losses now where I would have beaten almost every other team except for the team I played. Crazy Eyes has taken over number 1. Had a great pickup with Philip Rivers, who really performed against the New York Giants. Hopkins went far and above what I thought he would do against Kansas City. Leonard Fournette ran all over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's in trouble. And Brait there had a last-minute touchdown against New England that really hurt me because he wasn't doing nothing all game and then caught that touchdown. And that really hurt me. My team, Ben Roethlisberger, maybe he should have retired. He's looking terrible this year. He can't throw deep to Antonio Brown, which is hurting Antonio Brown's numbers. He doesn't look accurate. Hopefully he can fix it, and get it through to get that team back on the winning track. But here I picked up Deshaun Watson last week thinking, he's not going to do too much against Kansas City. He might hit that 20 number, but I wasn't too sure, so I left him on my bench. And he scores 45 points. Devontae Adams was questionable heading into the game with that big concussion from last week, so I left him on the bench. He, of course, scores 22 points. I don't think I would have started him over Keenan Allen, Chris Hogan, or T.Y. Hilton, though. And, of course, starting him over T.Y. Hilton would have been a mistake. Gillislee now, back-to-back weeks, has not found the end zone, and that's the big problem with him. He is an end zone or bust kind of guy. Adam Jones. Awesome pickup, seeing how Ty Montgomery is out. Looks like Ty Montgomery will probably be out again this week. So definitely, if you haven't picked him up yet, pick him up. And that's the thing, though, too. If I would have started Deshaun Watson over Ben Roethlisberger, that's a W. That would have been a W. Instead, I fall to 3-2. But we're looking good set up for this week. Playing Good Swallow. I believe he is unfortunately last place. So it'd be really bad if I lose to him. I'm starting Deshaun Watson against Cleveland. That is almost an easy start there. Keenan Allen, Oakland. I think hopefully if he can find the end zone. He struggled last week to reel in those touchdown catches. Otherwise, he would have had more points. Chris Hogan against the Jets. I'm really liking him. He's really shined with Julian Edelman out for the season and the couple of bumps and bruises that Danny Amendola have taken. T.Y. Hilton against Tennessee. The way Tennessee's defense has been going up against people like Deshaun Watson, they're getting ran over and then passed over, but we'll see there. Adam Jones, easy start against Minnesota, even though Minnesota's been looking better on defense and stopping the run. Easy start. And you can see the new pickup I got, Lamar Miller. I traded Michael Thomas of the Saints to my buddy for Lamar Miller. And then Travis Kelce is in the concussion protocol and does not look good. He did not practice Wednesday. So if he doesn't practice today, I will be starting Zach Miller. Baltimore has been not good against the pass. And Zach Miller is seeing 6 to 7 targets a game. And Michael Trubisky looked pretty okay last week. But I expect Zach Miller, and Zach Miller was kind of his go-to guy. Probably the best receiver on the team. So I think he'll do better this week. So that will be the switch. Devonta Adams, I'm going to leave him on the bench again. Packers like to spread it around. So, yeah, Adams had a great week last week. And then this week he could do almost nothing because that's just the way it happens there. Of course, watching Ty Montgomery closely. But we'll see how he does because right here it says they don't move to full pads until Thursday. So basically Wednesday is just a run through. And even if he does get it to take one hit, and he'll be right back out of the game sometimes. So definitely going to stick with probably Jones this week. And then if they start Ty Montgomery and he plays the whole game, I'll just take that loss as a loss then. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Miami, if they could get a passing game to help J.J. do some work, that'd be good. Crowell will go in against that Houston defensive front four, which has been hurt now with J.J. Watt out. And then Jordy Nelson, you never know. He could be the target this week, how Adams was the pick last week. So, and we'll go back to kind of looking at, let's go to the league real quick. That's not what I want. It's the other one. Let's do this real quick. Sometimes it's good to use the app, but sometimes it's better to go to the actual website and you get a little bit more going on. Also, I had Philadelphia and Carolina's defense, and I don't like either one of them facing each other. So I went and picked up the Redskins defense, who are facing San Francisco. So I'm liking that matchup a little bit better, and I dropped Carolina. I think the Philadelphia-Carolina game tonight is going to be a close one. I think Philadelphia will take it, though. San Francisco-Washington, that should be Washington all the way. Cleveland-Houston should be Houston all the way that Deshaun Watson is going right now. New England should have the Jets beat. Baltimore-Chicago, I think that will actually be a pretty good game. We'll see more about Trubisky against a defense that's which is doing well, but gave up a lot of points to Jacksonville. Green Bay, Minnesota should be a good game. Hopefully they just start Case Keenum and leave Sam Bradford on the bench because that knee does not look right at all. Then Miami, Atlanta, that depends a lot if Julio Jones can go or not. I saw that he did practice. Detroit and New Orleans might be a shootout. LA Rams, Jacksonville. I don't know. It depends on what Jacksonville team shows up. They either win or they get beat. Bad. They score a lot of points because their defense turns the ball over. If the Rams don't turn the ball over, I'd say they win. Even though the Rams are traveling to Jacksonville. Tampa Bay, Arizona. Both those teams have not looked too good for the start of the year. A slight edge to Tampa Bay, I guess. I'm not really confident in that pick either, so who knows there. Chargers at Oakland. I think Chargers get a win in Oakland. E.J. Manuel has not looked the sharpest in relief. Pittsburgh, Kansas City. I mean, I expect Kansas City to keep rolling. Roethlisberger hasn't looked good. And if they can just double up Brown and stop the run of Bell, Kansas City shouldn't have any problem. Kansas City gave up more points to Houston than I was expecting, though, so I could be proven wrong. I expect Denver's defense to shut down the Beckham-less Giants. And then Indianapolis, Tennessee on Monday night. I think Tennessee will come out with the win at that. I don't know. Marcus Mariota is still questionable. So it helps a lot to have Marcus Mariota going. Here you can take a look at all the standings. Crazy Eyes in first place has scored just about 50 more points than anybody else in the league, and that's me. That's close second. But after there, we're real close up. I think 10 points under me is in Wentz We Trust. Points against kicking Praters is unfortunately the champion of having points scored against him. And I am unfortunately a close second there. Well, not really close. It's about 40 points difference, so not close at all. So don't listen to that. But standings are all bunched up still. Nobody's undefeated anymore. I think Bad Hombre was the last undefeated, and he lost last week. We'll find out real quick. Yeah, lost last week, 101 to 99, so a 2-point loss. It's close. There was a couple of blowouts. Spank Me, Spanked Your Girlfriend's Keeper by almost 70. I'll bring that up real quick. Yeah, outside of Aaron Rodgers, his team did not perform anything. Yeah, Martavius Bryant suffers from the bad Ben Roethlisberger play. I don't like Seattle wide receivers at all. They leave some points on the bench. Yeah, started Ingram over Kyle Rudolph, and Kyle Rudolph looked good. Left Melvin Gordon on the bench over Carlos Hyde and Todd Gurley. And I know Melvin Gordon scored, 2 receiving touchdowns? Should have gone to Keenan Allen. So that's a lot of points right there on the bench. Dak Prescott and Cam Newton finally both performed because he's had the problem of starting one when the other doesn't perform. And not looking good. I don't think keeping 3 quarterbacks is needed, but managed to start most of the right people. I probably would have started Doug Martin over McKissick, Seattle's running back, but to each their own. It was his first week back, I do believe, so don't really blame him too much there. Maybe last week was. The week before. It's a 4-game suspension or 5. I think it might have been 4, so this could have been Doug Martin's first game back. But yeah, we got 3 teams at 3-2, 2 at 2-3, so we're not out of the playoffs yet. Let's see what current projections say. I always like looking at them. They've got me down to only 4 for 10. Ouch. That hurts a little bit. But that's better than what we started on draft day. I think I was 2-12. But I don't really pay too much attention to them. I expect to be in the playoffs. And that's probably what's going to happen. There's week 6. A lot of good games. The Detroit-New Orleans game is definitely going to be one I'll be watching. I think tonight's game, the Philadelphia and Carolina, really tell a lot about these teams. Carolina's been looking good these past 2 weeks. Philadelphia's looked good all year. So I think the slight edge goes to Philadelphia, even though it is at Carolina. I think overall, Philadelphia has a stronger defense and will hopefully shut down Carolina a little bit. But I think it's just going to be an exciting game, a good one to watch. Green Bay, Minnesota, always a good, tough matchup in the NFC North. And Monday night, I don't know if Andrew Luck is close. I know he started practicing with the team. So let's look up that real quick. Let us look up Mr. Luck. No. There we go. Look, search. He's still out. All right, so he's already out for week 6. But Jacoby Brissett has been looking better and better, and the more he's on the field, the better he'll be as well. So hopefully he finds T.Y. Hilton a couple times, because I'm going to leave T.Y. Hilton playing. And I know that Tennessee defense has been very subpar so far. So it'll be a good Monday night game as well, I think. So tune in, watch shows. It'll be a good weekend for football.